Hello and welcome. I am the digital avatar, the digital twin of Professor Chukhlomin of the College of Business. Professor Chukhlomin designed and endorsed this talk, and he is fully responsible for its content, although he suspects that on occasion I may deliver it a little better than he would. Unfortunately, on occasion I may mispronounce Val's name and say, well, hope he won't hold it against me. Val is currently away on sabbatical, and he has asked me to tell you about a group of AI-related business courses that he will be offering or developing for spring 2027 and beyond. The timing is the reason this talk exists. Before the summer break, it is still too early to discuss these courses in detail with colleagues and student mentors. But registration begins in October 2026, when Val will be away. So this pre-recorded talk is meant to bridge that gap, to help advisors, mentors, colleagues and supervisors understand the courses and advise students appropriately. Several natural questions come up right away. Which course should students take and in what order? What are the courses about and which AI tools do they use? Are they in Brightspace? Why is there currently only one SUNY Microcredential, and can students from outside BME take them? Answering these questions is exactly what this talk is for. Val started delivering AI-driven courses more than 2 years ago, in fall 2024. The first was ECON 3006, AI-driven strategies for local businesses in the global economy. Several terms of this course have already run, and it carries an approved SUNY Microcredential. What makes the course distinctive is that it teaches 2 curriculums at once. The first is a systematic study of ChatGPT. Students do not simply use ChatGPT, they study it step by step, in depth, as a professional tool. The second is a set of business use cases through which that learning is delivered. Here, the context is small businesses operating in a regional economy. Val draws his examples from New York State, with a particular focus on internationalization and strategies for going global. There is also a research dimension. Val runs an IRB-approved study with Julie Kennedy interviewing students to capture transformational learning. Not much has been published yet, the materials are still accumulating. As for format, the course runs 8 weeks and is quite intensive. Students produce an assignment every week, and the course culminates in a final strategic project built around a realistic, sometimes an entirely real, business use case. The course is delivered in Brightspace. Even though Val often calls it an independent study, it has been approved by instructional design for ADA compliance. In other words, this course is already online ready. The next course follows the same general approach but moves into marketing. Marketing 4060, AI-driven advanced marketing, was developed and delivered once, in spring 2026. This time, the systematic study is of Google AI. Google occupies a central position in the marketing world, and future marketers need to know how to work with its advanced AI tools. So the idea runs parallel to the first course. ECON 3006 studies ChatGPT in depth within a business strategy and regional economy context, while Marketing 4060 studies the Google AI ecosystem in depth within a marketing strategy context. The format is familiar, 8 weeks delivered in Brightspace. Val ran it as an online study with a deliberately limited number of students because he wanted room to experiment. It has been offered only once so far, and it too has an associated research project. Both of these first 2 courses are now being revised and repositioned, and I will explain why in a moment. The reason is the new course Val is preparing for spring 2027, Business 3000, Applied Generative AI for Business Professionals. This course is built directly on the experience of teaching the first 2. In those courses, some students arrived without basic AI literacy, and out of 8 weeks, Val needed at least 2 just to cover the fundamentals. That took valuable space away from the main material. At the same time, AI literacy is becoming foundational everywhere, in the workplace, in high schools, and through independent learning. But for business students, literacy alone is not enough. This is where the concept of professional AI fluency comes in. It builds on AI literacy, but goes well beyond it. How to use multimodality in a business context, how to govern AI in business environments, how to communicate with AI effectively, and how to prepare for using AI in professional settings. There is more than enough material here for a dedicated course. In this course, students work with both ChatGPT and Google AI. The course goes broad rather than deep into any single platform, and that is deliberate. An AI-fluent professional needs to switch quickly from one model or platform to another. For example, custom GPTs are not covered here. They are reserved for the more advanced courses. The course is prepared for online delivery in Brightspace and approved for ADA compliance, though WELL will probably offer it first as an independent study to keep some flexibility in the opening term or two. And one simple rule of thumb for advisors. If your students want to take only one business course focused on AI, this is the course. There is one more approved course, still under development, and it is taking considerable time to prepare. Business 4050, AI Integrated Business Strategy. The course will probably be ready by spring 2027, but WELL may teach it first in fall 2027, simply because there may not yet be enough students prepared for it. This is intended as a capstone in business strategy, strategic management, built for the advanced AI era, in which professionals will routinely work alongside AI agents. The course takes the perspective of the CEO of a small company, orchestrating people and agents working together. That is a genuinely novel approach. There are no standard textbooks for it yet, which is exactly why development is slow. Here it is worth pausing on a point that applies to the entire lineup. All of these courses are designed for non-IT professionals. Students do not need to know how to code or work with specialized technical models. Students who are drawn to machine learning, deep learning, or agentic orchestration in Python should take different courses. These courses are for regular business professionals who will use AI tools without special IT preparation. The particular challenge of this capstone is that students may need to go somewhat beyond custom GPTs and work with tools like ChatGPT, Codex, or Claude Cowork. WELL is still thinking about how best to introduce those tools within the course. With all 4 courses introduced, we can turn to the questions, and this slide collects the ones advisors and students would ask the most. Which course or courses should a student choose? How do they align with the business curriculum? If more than one, in what order? Which AI tools are used? Are the courses in Brightspace? Why only one Microcredential so far, and can students from outside BME take them? There will certainly be other questions as well. Please gather them and send to Brad Nelson or department chairs. WELL will be glad to respond in the spring. For now, let me walk you through the structure we have.
Here is the recommended sequence. The starting point is Business 3000. It is the introductory course, and as I said, if your students are ready for only one AI course in business, this is the one. It establishes professional AI fluency as a concept and lets students practice it through concrete examples. The next step, either ECON 3006 or Marketing 4060, or both in any order. WELL is reworking and repositioning both courses on the assumptions that students will normally have taken Business 3000 first. The final step is Business 4050, the capstone. It will definitely require prior coursework, ECON 3006 in particular, because from day one, students in the capstone are assumed to know how to work with custom GPTs. Once again, let me repeat it, students can take just one course, which would usually be Business 3000. They can take 2, they can also take all 4. The courses are compatible with one another and designed to add up to a complete picture.
Now let us look at the same 4 courses through a different lens. Every course in this lineup really contains 2 curriculums, one dealing with AI, the other with subject matter, and WELL's design task was to weave them together. This slide shows the AI side. Business 3000 covers professional AI fluency across all 8 pillars, providing the broad foundation for non-IT students. ECON 3006 then narrows and deepens, a systematic, in-depth study of ChatGPT. Tools of this class are becoming serious professional instruments, and learning to use them well takes time. So the course proceeds step by step and culminates in a concrete project built on custom GPTs. Marketing 4060 mirrors that structure for the Google AI ecosystem. Notebook LM, Gemini, and custom gems working together in a concrete marketing project. And Business 4050 is about agentic orchestration and multi-tool work. WELL is considering introducing Claude Cowork there, because right now it may be one of the most advanced tools available to non-IT students. The other half of the design is a subject matter curriculum, because every AI concept needs to be illustrated in the business world. In Business 3000, professional AI fluency is illustrated through essential business skills career management, decision-making, critical thinking, and business communication. So the course can fairly be read as two courses in one, an AI course and a course on essential business skills. In ECON 3006, the setting is small business in the regional economy, New York State in particular, with an emphasis on internationalization strategy and the final project. In Marketing 4060, the setting is the same regional economy, but the work is marketing planning and marketing strategy, again ending in a final project. And in Business 4050, the subject matter is business strategy, with a focus on strategic management of human agentic teams. Let us look at the sequence once more, this time from the standpoint of curricular alignment. All four courses are ideal for BME and BBA students, and each carries significant business content. AI literacy, in the general education sense, is effectively a prerequisite for all of them. The courses themselves are about professional AI fluency, which builds on basic AI literacy. All four courses also fit the Management Information Systems area for BME students because they teach students to work with AI systems in professional business contexts. And all four are advanced level. Now, a few more specifics for educational planning. Econ 3006 is liberal, the other three are not. Marketing 4060 is a good fit for either marketing strategy or marketing management and can serve as a substitute in that area, so it sits comfortably in the marketing concentration or in business administration requirements related to marketing. Econ 3006 satisfies the requirement for organizations in the global environment. And Business 4050 is the business capstone. A word about credentialing and the research behind these courses. At the moment, only one SUNY Microcredential has been approved, and it belongs to Econ 3006. The honest explanation is bandwidth. Thinking through accreditation requirements is more than enough work for one person, so WELL is working with other faculty to distribute the load and develop microcredentials for the remaining courses as well. Ideally, all four will eventually carry the designation, and they may contribute to something larger still, such as a certificate or a concentration, though that broader structure belongs to the department, not to WELL alone. Now, none of these courses appeared out of thin air. Before developing each one, WELL writes a conceptual working paper that thinks the course through, the framework, the curriculum design, the assessment approach. What you see on this slide is a selection of those papers. The links are under this video. This is not the complete list. All of these articles are openly available. If you want to understand why a course is built the way it is, the papers are the place to look. Finally, there is one more course WELL wanted to mention, and it takes a different approach altogether. His earlier course, Marketing 4050, Career Self-Management and Self-Marketing, is taken by many students and taught by many instructors. The course also carries its own unique microcredential. Content-wise, it is clearly ready for AI integration. But precisely because enrollment is large and because there is not yet enough support for every student to work with AI in the regular course space, WELL chose a different path. In this course, students continue to work manually, and AI is not required. Instead, WELL is building what amounts to a course within the course. Every task is illustrated through video. An imaginary student, an avatar as it happens, is shown approaching the task with the help of AI. The discussions then center on these examples. Students who do have access to AI can repeat the process and compare notes with the others. Because the course is built around students' own career materials, it matters little whether they use AI or not. They must verify everything about themselves either way. WELL calls this the invisible AI component. AI is not required anywhere in the course, and yet, in the new era, it is quietly assumed that students will be using it anyway. Let me close the way Professor Chukhlomin likes to close, with numbered conclusions. First, there is now a coherent sequence of AI-driven business courses. Students begin with Business 3000, continue with Econ 3006 and Marketing 4060, and finish with the Business 4050 capstone. Second, these are professional AI fluency courses for non-IT students, practical, business first, and requiring no coding. Third, the courses are built for online delivery, approved for accessibility and compatible with one another, so students can take 1, 2, or all 4. Fourth, one SUNY microcredential is approved today, and more credentials are on the way. Thank you for watching, and thank you for advising our students. Please collect your questions. Professor Chukhlomin will be glad to answer them in the spring. Once again, if I mixed up Val and said well, I hope Val won't mind. And if you disagree with anything you heard today, please do not shoot the piano player. I am only the avatar. The professor takes full responsibility, and he is conveniently out of range on sabbatical. Goodbye for now.